Now, the name of this video channel, as you all know, is Trips and
Feasts.
Okay. Now, Honey here will be the feasts mostly, and I will be mostly the trips. So when we take videos, hopefully there'll be a bit of both, you know, the trip side of things and the feast.
We should have shown the pasty.
We should have shown them.
I'm gonna buy another one.
That's all she thinks about. Well, not quite all.
On the feast part.
Okay. Anyway, so where are we now? We actually really think about it, could be anywhere. I mean, on the planet, would you say? I mean, like, look at the beach, okay? There's a few places around that don't have white sandy beaches or any sandy beaches, and we're obviously on one of them. At the end there, I don't know if you can see it, there's a castle. England has lots of castles, and that one there doesn't look as complete as it used to be once upon a time, but there you go. Anyway, and there's plenty of them all over the UK, and some of them are in better condition than others, and some of them there's just a couple of walls left. And anyway, so it's not unusual to see castles, and we're on the coastline. This is the Thames, just actually, because just out there a bit is the North Sea. If you're going out to other countries, and as we go around, somebody jet skiing on the Thames. That looks as though it used to be the end of a pier. At some point in time, the actual walk out to the end has been blown away or something. But anyway, yeah, and so many people, when they think of England, they just think of London. And you know, of course, London's a great city, of course, you know. I mean, all the history and the restaurants and the Lord knows what. Awful lot going on. But of course, there's plenty of other places besides London. Many of them just a day trip, including where we are now. We actually haven't come down for a day. We're actually got 3 nights just in Whitstable, about 4 miles west of here. We're in Herne Bay right now. Just came down here to, believe it or not, to go to the Barclays Bank. What's the one weekday it's closed? Thursday. And what is today? Thursday. Anyway, so, but there you go. Yeah, so this is part of Herne Bay's beach, and of course, if you like that white sandy stuff, then as in a lot of the UK beaches, there's not too well. There are some white sandy beaches, absolutely, but not here. Anyway, it's a little fun parade thing up there, and I'm going to walk back. It's about 4 miles back to Whitstable, and yeah. So you know, if you're in London and you do want to get away from London for a day, there's a lot of choice, you know. And I mean, you can go to the south coast, you can go to the east coast, to Essex, what have you. You can go to the Kent coast. I mean, there's quite a choice actually, and you know, it's a day trip, so you can almost like just wake up in the morning, and if the weather's cooperates, then off you go. Just be careful of those train fares, though. They can be a bit horrible if you just walk up and get a train ticket there and then. But there's coaches that go to a few places. Anyway, so that's it for now. We're going to do some of the feast stuff later, my love.
I should have shown you guys a pasty. We were talking about the history of pasties.
You guys can wait, right?
Okay, hi subscribers. I think this is our first, or at least my first experience at a beachside Wetherspoons. And today is Thursday, curry club. So we get any curry with almost any, I think it was £6, is that right, honey?
£6.80.
£6.80.
Instead of £7.90.
There you go. And here's what I got. I got the spiciest chicken vindaloo with papadum, rice, and a naan. And honey got a chicken korma, naan, rice, and papadum. And this feels like a very English experience. Honey, would you like to explain why?
Right, because English people are no good at spices, as we know, which is why korma is a very mild, spicy nosh, right? Whereas honey's there is a vindaloo.
And it's spicy.
Almost the other end of the spice scale. So English people, as a general rule, aren't so good at vindaloos because of the spice level, which is why wimps like me go for kormas. But this is Thursdays, okay, and different Wetherspoons will have different things, different days of the week. It just so happened that it's a Thursday and we're walking by, and honey, can you pan over to See, there's the water just over there, just the other side of that. And you know, Wetherspoons, as I've mentioned before, it can be a bit hit and miss. You know, sometimes you can have a great experience in them food-wise, and other times they can all be a bit iffy. You know, but they're fine for what they are.
Especially at £6.
Yeah, and
with a drink.
Yeah, you get 3 refills on the soft drinks or the hot drink. The alcoholic drinks are like a little bit more. But even now, check this out, right? They've got, look, I mean, we don't drink, but look at this. Well, we don't drink beer anyway. Well, mostly we don't. Look at this, £1.99.
That's a great price for a pint.
Barmy.
And you're by the beach.
Yeah, but so for the most part, you know, Wetherspoons are going to offer a different type of experience than, you know, other things we've been to, right? And, you know, it's fine. I mean, it is what it is. Just, you know, don't go expecting the greatest of service, the greatest of food, the greatest of decorations. And the prices are going to be...
But come for like a reasonable price. Like, you know, somewhere where you know, you don't mind sitting for a few hours. There's going to be like decent facilities.
Yeah, and if you like that pub atmosphere, that's the thing about Wetherspoons, because they're like a cross between pubs and restaurants. If you like that pub atmosphere, also the other thing, if you do come here for a meal, you know, find a table. You've got to get the table number. Then you go to the bar, you give them your table number. Then you pay at the same time, and then they'll bring it out to you minutes later. So don't be going into a Wetherspoons and just, you know, sit down at a table and wait for somebody to come and serve you, because, you know, it doesn't work like that. And that's the same in a lot of, not just Wetherspoons, but a lot of similar type establishments.
And honey, okay. The reason why I said this feels like very English is because as a visitor to the UK, Peter has a fondness of Wetherspoons, and I'm starting to understand why. Because there's a certain consistency and a certain comfort whenever you go in one. And this is a vindaloo, and for people who know places like Howling Rays, I can usually eat hot or medium plus. In this number, the spiciest, the chili rating of 5 is actually spicy, but not unpleasantly so. But it's spicy.
It would kill me, right? They'd have to call an ambulance afterwards.
No, I don't think so. Not this bad. Not like some other stuff. But it's not bad.
Okay.
Bye, subscribers.
This is cool.
Neptune.
Neptune's what?
Arm.
Okay, Neptune. Okay, Neptune and Poseidon. Who's Greek and who's Roman? Okay, where are we? Well, there is part of the shore belonging to Herne Bay, not Herne Hill, which is in South London, as I said to somebody. The Wetherspoons we went into is just there. And of course, on a hot day, and especially on the weekend, I bet there'd be plenty of day trippers from London, because it really is not that far. As with a lot of this, the coastline around the UK, and strictly speaking, this is an estuary actually. The Isle of Shepp is just up there. This is an estuary, this part here. But the tide comes in and goes out pretty quick. Like when we went into the Wetherspoons, this tide was in, at least up to where that small boat is. And now you can see how it is. And so if people are out looking for cockles and mussels and oysters and all this kind of stuff, then people can get themselves in trouble if they stay out too long and think that they can beat the tide coming back in. And sometimes people do get into problems. Anyway, yeah, so as you can see, it's clouded over a little bit. Got a bit nippier here, but you know, we are out a little bit. We're not like the other side of all those buildings, you know, they kind of act as a bit of a windbreak, depending. So, show the what? Oh, this is called Neptune's Arm. You can see it comes out from how it is. It goes around and finishes there. So I guess, I don't know, from a certain point of view, it can resemble an arm, I suppose. Anyway, so you won? Lisa spots. You know, the oyster industry around here. There's a lot of potential actually, and it is expanding again. But there'd be masses of oysters, not just this part, but all around actually. Used to be a big thing from here, or the UK if you like, and there are a lot. There are millions of them, millions and millions, and cockles and mussels and whelks, all of that stuff. Anyway, it's getting a bit windier. Heading out. I'm guessing once upon a time that pier went out all the way to there, and that's just a guess. I don't know for sure, but you think it's quite possible. And no longer there's a little helter-skelter up there and a few little things to keep the kids out of trouble maybe. Anyway, so approaching the end of Neptune's arm, where I expect to see a hand, 4 fingers and a thumb. Something tells me that's not the case. Anyway, you can see the beach there actually. Lots of pebbles on it, but not all. There are some patches that are like, you know, pebble free. And so this is close enough. Like if you live in southeast London anyway, then it wouldn't take at all long to get down here. I don't know, what, 30 minutes, 35, 40, something like that. Not sure. Canterbury, so you got 4 miles up Whitstable, up there is Whitstable, and then about 8 miles inland from that is Canterbury. So for those of you like that kind of thing, you know, Canterbury is of course kind of the cathedral and all that is a World Heritage Site. Very important for the Anglican Church. Anyway, so yeah, so if you like that sort of thing, Canterbury's not far, is it? Anyway, so where is she? She's down there. And rapidly approaching the end. There's somebody on his jet ski there. Could get grounded here actually, or beached. Careful, I would think. Anyway. As you can tell from the noise, it's a bit windier. That looks to be some sort of observation post. Some steps there that one can wander up if one chooses. And then see, what I really wanted to do was just, instead of going all the way back and around, was just go across here. But something tells me that that is not a good idea right now. I don't know if the tide's still going out, and whether this part here is kind of exposed at some point. But even if you did walk across, then what do? You know, you climb up one of those vertical pillars, or are you able to sort of walk to the beach? Not sure. Anyway, let's go up here. Da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay, honey, we got to walk all the way back and around. That's fine. Jolly good. Okay, I'm gonna throw.
I think Neptune would be the Roman because of the history of England.
Okay, Neptune.
Let's see if that
Is
And you tell the subscribers that during the war they cut down some of this pier.
during the war. Oh, we cut down some of the pier. What, for the metal, for the railings?
They weren't sure if the enemies are gonna come, where they're gonna come, so they cut down the pier. Remember?
Oh, okay. Well, how about that? Maybe the pier was cut down because something to do with a possible German invasion. Okay. Well. Oh, and the Thames froze in the 1960s or 1860s? 1960s. What? All of the Thames, or just the bit out here?
Check their fact subscribers. Who knows if that's true or not? You're so efficient.
All right. Anyway, gotta go, honey. There we go. Can I go? I haven't seen anything like this for a long time. Jackpot. Oh, they're all gonna open. You know, back in the day, these seaside resorts used to be full of stuff like that, and donkeys and candy and what else? All sorts of sort of stuff. But back, what happened back in the 60s, then the charter flights started popping up, and so there were flights with the hotels and sometimes the rental cars to places, you know, Spain, a lot of Spain, of course, and then after a while, more and more countries. Somebody else just got the jackpot. And yeah, now of course there's not so much going on in these resorts. Of course, during the weekends, especially in the summer, I would think somewhere like this will be packed. This is close enough to London that it's easy for a day trip. They have these arcades. You know, there's still some of these places here. But nothing like it used to be, of course. And I would think, you know, if you come back here in January, you know, when it gets dark at 4:30, all these places are closed anyway. And the owners have probably got second homes somewhere in Spain or, you know, somewhere else. They're off there. You know, whereas now, you know, we're coming up to the longest day on the 21st of June. You know, it's a different thing, isn't it, of course. Very good. And I'm going to walk back to Wichita. Oh, there's the pier there. And see, indeed, see how it used to be. Just to head straight out to the end there, and that apparently is how it was. So I was right when I said that before. But anyway, I'm going to walk back to Wichita. It's about 4 miles up. I'm not sure if it's all like this the entire way, but we'll see. Got a bit nippy, but you know, not so bad. I say, as you can see, lots of pebbles. Lots of pebbles. Well, I don't know how well you could see it, but just at this end of the pier, as well as the Union flag flying, there was also the flag of Ukraine, which is a testament to what's been going on the last 3 months, over 3 months now. Anyway, and these huts, you see a lot of them around the UK's coastline. They could well be owned by the local council and rented out, just for them to use it as changing rooms, really, and to store their stuff. I believe that some of them may well be owned by individuals, but I say I'm not too sure about these here. There's a few, isn't there? That one there is number 100. It looks like there's about 130 along here, something like that. Quite a few. Anyway, so the clock tower in Herne Bay is about, what's that, about half a mile behind me. About another 4 miles to Whitstable.